Hey everyone, before we begin, I just want to start off by saying this is not your typical Hello Henderson episode. We only are two, maybe three episodes in. I've been doing another podcast, HBS, where we try to maintain positivity and talk about how we can be better and whatnot. And this one is going to hit a little differently because of recent events. So just bear with us as we go through this and unpack some of the emotions and feelings we've been going through in the last few days, and what can we do to get better. So let's get into it. All right, let's do this. Welcome back to Hello Henderson. I am Haas, and I want to talk about what happened recently that's rattled at least me and my family. I know it rattled some of my neighbors and some of the people I know in the community. On Friday, November 14th, there was a road rage incident, and I don't want to get into the details, but the outcome of it was just as horrible as you would think. A little boy lost his life, an 11-year-old boy on his way to school. There's no reason in the world that that should happen, accidentally or otherwise. It just doesn't make sense. And the first reaction that I have is obviously sadness and anger and disappointment in us as a society and how we got here and how did we end up doing this. Like, how does this happen? If I don't want to get into the details, but if you were to look at the details, you realize it was just a stupid little argument on the highway, freeway, road, whatever, of who's cutting who over. And there isn't enough reason in this world for a gun to be pulled out in a scenario like that. There isn't enough reason in this world, more so, that a child should lose his life for this. This hits really close to home because it happened just around the corner from where we live, just by our kids' school. And the boy happens to be the same age as our kids. So it's very close to home. It's very hard. It's very sad. And I feel for the family. And there's not enough words in my heart and my brain to explain how sad this is to me or to comfort the family that lost their child. There just isn't. We're not here to sensationalize the incident. I'm here to reflect. I'm here to talk about what do we do now. You know, as kids, bad things happen to us all the time. I often joke I'm a Gen Xer. I've been through a lot, and Gen X have been through a lot, and we survived a lot, and with that comes a lot of trauma. But I am grateful that I found the right people in my life to learn how to handle that trauma, learn how to go through things and resolve things before they get into something that's worse later on in life. But as kids, a lot of things happen to us and we just don't understand them. Kids are resilient, they move on quickly. I mean, if you've been listening to this show or you know me, you know that I was a single dad for a while. I went through a terrible divorce. My wife went through a divorce, and both of our kids, they recover quickly. Now we feel for them more then we see them act out. But kids are resilient and they know how to recover quickly. But that doesn't mean that it's fair. It doesn't mean that they should. But it's something that I'm grateful for, that our kids are resilient. But as adults, we feel the weight. We feel the fear, the responsibility, and the what ifs. And I think that's what's been really hitting home for us lately in the last 2 days. The what ifs. What ifs. And it's hard. Why does this hit differently as a parent than it would have when we were kids? Because of the responsibility of protecting our kids and understanding and preparing our children. Because we understand the weight of that danger. They don't. So yeah, it hits home for us a little harder. I think what's really most frustrating for me about this entire situation is that I don't know how we got here as a community, not just Henderson, but as a society. I don't know what happened to us that we prioritize our pride, insecurities, losing ourselves in moments like that, and just get to the point where a gun is the solution, or violence is the solution, or losing your sanity is the solution to a conflict. To me, what's really most disappointing, somehow, somewhere along the lines, we lost ourselves and we started prioritizing our egos, pride, insecurities, to the point where it supersedes our humanity, our empathy, and civility. I just don't understand that. I brag about being a Gen Xer who has gone through a lot, whether it be September 11th, a financial collapse, multiple number of mass shootings that we've encountered in our lifetime. So we've been through a lot as a Gen X, but I feel like we have an opportunity to say, let's unpack that and let's resolve that. But I don't know if we pass it on to the younger generation and before resolving it, or we realizing now that we should resolve it. I wish someone had thought about that before a little boy lost his life. No argument, no moment of anger, no inconvenience is worth losing a life. Yours or mine. I gotta tell you, we don't know what the other person's going through. We have to be considerate to others. I know that's a cliche. I understand that. Be considerate. Think about other people. But 20 years ago, I was driving in New Jersey, and that's where I grew up. And needless to say, folks on the East Coast, whether it's New York, New Jersey, the tri-state area as we call it, are a little bit more aggressive when it comes to driving, a little bit more assertive. And I was one of those people. And I remember one time someone cut me off. And I was so disappointed. I was so upset. So I sped up, and at that time I had a sports car. I sped up, and I was going to honk and holler and give the middle finger and say, how dare you cut me off, yada, yada, yada. And as I honk, I look next to me and I see the lady that was driving, and she was having an epic meltdown. Tears, barely hanging on to her steering wheel. And ever since that moment, I realized I have to be a little more cognizant that I'm not the only person on the road dealing with things. The world doesn't revolve around me. Again, I understand it's a cliche, but it's reality. But it was that time I realized that I just need to maintain my civility and my humanity and my empathy. You don't know how people handle stress. You know how you handle stress, but you don't know how other people handle stress. I am not justifying anything that happened on Friday, you know, sometimes people act out of anger. Sometimes that anger comes out of fear. Sometimes that fear comes out of misplaced feeling or something that happened in their past. We don't know. You don't know. You don't know. So somebody's cutting you off. Okay. If you're late, you're late. If somebody cuts you off, so what? You're already late. You might as well just embrace it. There is nothing that you can do being stuck in traffic that's going to make you go faster than what you were expected to go there. We all have GPS on our phones now and in our cars. And if you put in the destination that you're going to and it tells you you're going to get there at a certain time because of traffic or because of weather or because of whatever else, you need to just accept that. You need to be okay that, hey, GPS says I'm going to be there 30 minutes late. I'm going to be 30 minutes late. It'll be great if I can be there earlier, but I just need to embrace it because it's not worth losing a life, getting into an accident, endangering anybody else's life, endangering my own life, endangering my own health, adding stress to yourself. It's not worth it. So again, I don't know, where have we lost our way? Somebody wants to cut me off? Go ahead. You know, when I'm on the freeway and I want to get off an exit and I put on my blinker, I understand that sometimes that's a personal challenge to other people when they see your blinker trying to get in front of them and they ride in your blind spot or go a little faster to make sure that you don't get in front of them. I slow down. Go ahead. It's more important for me to get off the exit than to get into a fight with you. It's not that worth it for me. And I felt that way before I had kids. And it's even more of a priority for me to make sure that I diffuse any situation that is similar to that now that I have kids. We have precious cargo in our lives and in our cars. And you're one of them. If you're driving, you're a precious cargo. Don't discount yourself as precious cargo. You should prioritize your health and your safety. And I'm just disappointed. But we can't pretend that it didn't happen. But we can't let it define us. As a community, I talk about Henderson and how much we love Henderson and how much we love the community and how much we prioritize coming here over other places that we considered moving from California. And we still love it. It's unfortunate staying that's going to stay with us for a while. But I hope that we can learn from this. And as it's hurtful to say, I hope we can embrace the situation and remind us and use it as a pivoting moment where we say, is this really worth me fighting over? This isn't about moving on. This is about moving forward. How do we carry this with us without letting it destroy the positivity we built here? I'm not going to have the answers. I wish I had somebody on the show to talk to you or me about some of these answers. But I know who do I reach out to get some of these answers. How do we move on? How do we move forward? Not move on. How do we move forward? How do we carry this without letting it destroy the positivity that we've built here so far? How do we show up for our kids when they ask questions and why did this happen or how did this happen? And how do we answer that? I know how. And I can only tell you how I deal with my kids. Because my kids said, this is sad and it's scary. Yes, it is. And that is why it's important to think about not just your safety, but about others. It's important to be considerate. It's important to be empathetic. It's important to understand that other people can be going through some rough times too. You're not the only one. And that's what we're doing with our kids. And we're going to take them out to places around the community where we show that there's happiness and life is moving in the right direction and there are still good people out there. That's what we're going to do. I don't know how some of you may talk to your kids or approach this, and I hope you do it in a way that's just as impactful and positive and help them move forward and help you move forward. I can't say enough about moving forward. Moving forward, be patient. It's okay. One thing, some of the things that we're doing to continue that positivity that we felt so far, because now that we're part of the community, I want to contribute to that positivity. I want to contribute to the growth of the Henderson community. And that is talk to your neighbors, see where you can help, volunteer for something, participate in community events. That's what we're going to try to do. We're going to keep looking out for things that we can participate in. And encourage kindness as a default. I mean, Christmas is just around the corner, y'all. I remember when I was a kid, there was all these messages around TV, on billboards, wherever, and where people talk about being positive and being joyful and bringing joy to others during the holiday. Let's bring that back. There's nothing wrong with that. I love Christmas. Are you kidding me? I love the message of Christmas. I love the community and the togetherness of Christmas and the holidays. It's one of my favorite times of the year. So, can we bring that back? Can we bring that positive energy and the community energy and the festivities of just being around each other and supporting each other and loving each other and helping each other? Can we bring that back? I think we can. We really can. This is a great community. And one tragic accident, it's not going to define us and it should not change us. Good people live here. Good families live here. There's good heart here. Staying positive doesn't mean that you're ignoring pain. It means that you're choosing to come together to get through it together. All right. Hug your kids a little tighter tonight. Tell them that you love them. Tell them that you're proud of them. Always let them know how much they mean to you. And it's not because something might happen to you. It's just always let them know. Always let them know. They got in trouble yesterday. Hey, my kids got in trouble on Friday morning. But I still told them how much I love them and how much I'm proud of them, that they're putting effort into trying to get better. So keep up the good work with your kids. Let them know. Check in on each other. Check in on your neighbors, your other parents that you talk to through school. Check in on each other. Let's take care of Henderson the same way Henderson takes care of us. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this helped you. I hope you find it positive and empowering. And if you feel somebody can benefit from listening to this, please forward it on to them. This is Haas, and this is Desperate Radio.